In our last video about geometry, we talked about what rays were, and we said rays went on forever in one direction, and they had an endpoint. So they started at some place. Okay, so let's call that endpoint here A, and let's call this point B, and we would call this a ray. It goes on forever in one direction, and we can do something to this ray. Well, why couldn't we draw a line going out in the other direction? Well, let's try that. What if we did something like this? And let's name this point C. So we have two rays, actually. We have one ray here, and we have a second ray here. And you might say, wait a second, this looks like something I've seen before. This is an angle. And you'd be exactly right, because this is what angles are made up of. Angles are made up of two rays that meet at something that we call so this point right here, we call this the vertex. So angles are made up of two rays that meet at the vertex. So in today's video, we're going to talk about three different types of angles, and we're going to talk about how you can name angles when they have points, such as this one right here. So let's start first by talking about three of the main types. There's more than three, but that can be saved for another video. Today we're going to talk about acute angles. We're going to talk about right angles. And we're going to talk about obtuse angles. And here's what these things are. So an obtuse angle is an angle that is greater than 90 degrees. So this little symbol, this circle symbol, that means degrees. And degrees are what we measure angles in. And you can see the degree symbols right here. Okay, so an obtuse angle is greater than 90, but less than 180. But less than 180 degrees. So that might look something like this. So we're going to start at 0. Okay, we have our ray, and let's go this way. Okay. And this angle, because of its arc, so that's how we measure angles. Okay, they have this inside arc, and that's what we call it, the arc. So you can see that this angle is greater than 90, but it's less than 180. So this would be an obtuse angle. Okay, the second angle we have is a right angle, which is exactly 90 degrees. This is probably, if you're familiar with angles at all, this is probably the one you're familiar with. Okay, so here it is. You can see that this one is exactly 90 degrees, and normally you'll see this little symbol inside of a triangle, or inside of the angle, to let you know that this angle is 90 degrees. It's not 91, it's not 89, it's exactly 90. So we would call this a right angle. Well, if we have angles that are greater than 90, we have angles that are exactly 90, I bet you can figure out what an acute angle is. An acute angle is less than 90 degrees. Okay? And the way I kind of like to think about it, kind of just like something that sticks in my head, is acute angles are acute angles. It's a acute angle because they're so small and tiny. It's a acute angle. So that might look something like this. Okay? This is a acute angle because it is less than 90 degrees. This one is 60 degrees. Okay? So those are the three that we're going to talk about. You can have angles that are bigger than 180 degrees. You can have angles that are exactly 180 degrees. That's going to be for another video. Okay, so let's just focus on those three at first. So let's spend some time now completing this sheet, and it says name each angle using all 3 points. Okay. Now there are a couple ways for you to name angles. This one says use all 3 points. So that's the way that we're going to do it. But there's a different way too. So one way is exactly as it says. Use all the points. Okay. The second way is use the vertex. Okay, so that's how we're going to be naming these angles today. So let's start. So what are our angles? What are the points on our angle? We have angle, or point P, we have point R, and we have point Q. So if we were going to name this angle, here's what we'd have to do. Whoops. We have to start with our angle symbol. So here's our angle symbol, and we're going to start right here, and then we're going to go to 2, and then we're going to go to 3. So this is angle P, Q, R. Vice versa, we can start at R, and then go to Q, and then go to P. So it can also be angle R, Q, P. Or, last but not least, we can just use the vertex, and we can say this is angle Q. You'll notice for each one, the vertex is the middle. Okay, so vertex is always the middle letter, and then your letters are always written in capitals. So let's go to the next one, and you'll see it gets a little bit simpler as you do more. So this can be named angle XYZ, angle ZYX, or angle Y. Because Y is the vertex. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is going to be angle FGH, angle HGF, or angle G. Alright, let's go to the next one. This is going to be angle ABC, angle CBA, or angle B. Okay. Starting to make sense now, I presume. Pretty straightforward. This is going to be angle RST, angle TSR, or angle S. Just as a reminder, just because we have 3 different ways to name them, these all refer to the same angle. Okay? These are just different names. This is going to be angle DEF, angle FED, or angle E. And just to finish it out, why don't we actually name what type of angle these are? So let me get our red. So this was an acute angle because it's less than 90. This is obtuse because it's greater than 90. This is acute because it's less than 90 degrees, less than 90 degrees, greater than 90 degrees, but less than 180. This is a right angle, which is 90 degrees exactly. This is another right, which is 90 degrees exactly. And this is an obtuse, which is greater than 90, but less than 180. So I hope that helped you with understanding how to name angles. A couple things to keep in to remember as you do it. Use 3 letters. Make sure those letters are capitalized. If you're going to use 3 letters, your vertex is always your middle letter, or just use the vertex to name the angle. As always, happy learning, and I'll see you in the next video.